I mean, I'd love to know what it was like as a coach working with athletes like Caesar, moving away from the bodysuits. And Fred, obviously,
Mm,
Fred had potentially his best swim ever in 2010, right? When he went that 21-3 in a jammer, when everyone
yeah,
was struggling
yeah.
to adjust. So, like, how was the general consensus on deck with these jammers?
Mate, I think it was probably the most difficult time for any coach for a period of about 2 years. I mean, it lasted about 2 years to really acclimatize and go backwards. It was almost like going back into old technology and this reimagination of how to swim and how fast you can go and things like that. And I actually felt like it was even more difficult for some of the younger athletes, like some of the freshmen coming into college. They were like, they were swimming times that we were recruiting them on based on the suits that they were in, right? And the suits were changing the way that they would sit in the water and feel and all sorts of things and swim. But psychologically, they would come in and really blame the program in a way. And I think, and look, this wasn't just an Auburn thing. It was across the board. When I was talking to coaches, that they were struggling with these new athletes coming into these programs with these new suits, and they were like, well, I did this in high school. I was like, well, high school you swam in that suit, right? Like, you're swimming in this suit now. And the kids just couldn't comprehend it. It was just like, I swam that last year and now I'm swimming 2 seconds slower, and so your program sucks, the work we're doing sucks. It was very mentally difficult across the board. This wasn't just one or two athletes, this was everybody taking a hit, right? And so I think that was the most difficult part. If you're an experienced swimmer, you understand what that suit was doing, because you didn't swim in that suit a few years before that. Like, you were swimming, and then this suit came along and made you feel a certain way, and then when you went back, you're like, oh yeah, that's right, that's the way I used to feel, that's the way I used to swim. But it was the younger generation that I felt had the most difficulty with it, for sure. And I think it was a period of at least 2 years that we really had to overcome and do a lot of psychological work, a lot of team meetings, a lot of talking, constantly having to reassure them that they're doing the right things, they're on track, or they have to adjust a certain way to feel a certain way in the water and things like that. So yeah, it was a very difficult period, man, for sure.